Josslyn tells Carly what she wants to hear, but the truth is a whole other story. Oh, honey, grab your sweet tea and settle in, because this first story is one that is going to have every mother watching this show feeling things deeply. Because we have got a daughter who loves her mother completely and genuinely, and who is about to look her straight in the eyes and tell her exactly what she needs to hear to stop worrying. Even though every single word of it is going to be a lie. Let us back up and appreciate just how far Josslyn has come, because this young woman has earned every bit of the respect she is now commanding. She walked into Windmere under the most terrifying circumstances imaginable. She was held hostage. She was shot. She endured things that would have broken most people completely. And instead of falling apart, instead of waiting to be rescued, she pulled herself across that floor, grabbed that weapon, and ended the threat herself. Z watched all of that unfold. And what he saw was not a frightened rookie who got lucky. He saw someone with instincts, composure, courage, and perhaps most impressively, the political intelligence to immediately understand what needed to happen next. Because Josslyn did not just eliminate the threat. She offered to manage the narrative around it. She volunteered to shape the official story in a way that protected the organization from public embarrassment. She negotiated from a position of strength even while she was wounded and exhausted. That is not a rookie move. That is the thinking of someone who understands exactly how this world works and is already operating several steps ahead. So, Z is not releasing Josslyn. He is absolutely not letting her walk out that door. If anything, everything she did has locked her more firmly into this world than she was before. There may even be a promotion on the horizon, because Z sees in Josslyn something rare and worth investing in. And the condition he is attaching to Jason and Valentine's freedom is exactly what you would expect from a man like him. Josslyn stays. Josslyn commits. And Josslyn keeps her mouth shut about all of it. Which brings us to Carly. Sweet, fierce, absolutely relentless Carly, who marched up to Z demanding her daughter's release and got hit on for her trouble. She slapped him across the face, which was deeply satisfying to watch. But the slap did not change the outcome. Z is not agreeing to what Carly wants. And so Josslyn is going to have to look her mother in the eye and tell her that everything worked out, that she is out, that Carly can stop worrying. The writers themselves have told us this lie is going to carry consequences for years. That is not a small statement. That is the show telling us that this moment, this specific choice Josslyn makes to protect her mother from a truth Carly cannot handle, is going to become one of the defining threads of who Josslyn is going forward. Every mission, every secret, every moment she has to smile at her mother while carrying something enormous, all of it traces back to this lie. Will Carly believe her? That is the question that is going to sit underneath every single interaction between these two women for a very long time. Brick goes digging, and Carly does not even flinch. Now, darlings, let us talk about Sonny. Because even when the city around him is settling into something resembling calm, Sonny cannot help himself. He sees something he does not like, and he starts building a plan. And what Sonny does not like right now, what is apparently keeping him up at night even with Sidwell behind bars and Ross in the ground, is Carly and Valentine. He saw the kiss. Standing right there outside that hospital with Lulu and Charlotte. The three of them watching Carly and Valentine share a moment that was completely public and completely real. And something in Sonny locked tight immediately. Because this is Carly. His Carly. The woman he has married multiple times, the mother of his daughter, the person whose happiness he has always had complicated feelings about when it involves other men, and especially men he does not trust. Valentine, as far as Sonny is concerned, comes with a very long list of reasons not to trust him. He has run. He has hidden. Charlotte spent significant portions of her childhood navigating a life that was not stable or safe because of the choices Valentine made. Sonny sees all of that and calculates it as evidence that this man is not right for Carly, not good for Carly, and not someone who deserves Carly. What Sonny conveniently sets aside, as Sonny always does when evaluating other people's danger levels, is the fact that his own history could fill several very thick books with reasons people should not trust him either. But self-awareness has never been Sonny's strongest quality when it comes to protecting what he considers his. So, he does not confront Carly directly.
He knows better than that.
He has been married to this woman enough times to understand that a direct challenge from Sunny is the fastest possible way to make Carly dig her heels in deeper. Instead, he goes to Brick. Trusted, capable, loyal Brick, and he asks him to do a deep dive. Pull up every significant thing Valentine has ever done wrong. Build a file. Present it to Carly in a way that feels organic and concerned rather than controlling and jealous. The problem, and Sunny probably knew this on some level even as he asked, is that Carly already knows. Valentine told her. He did not hide his past from her or dress it up or manage her perception of it carefully. He gave her the truth and let her decide what to do with it. And Carly decided that a man who trusts her enough to tell her the worst things about himself is exactly the kind of man she wants to be with. When Brick delivers his report back to Sunny, Carly has already anticipated the whole thing. She told Brick exactly what to pass along, that Valentine is an extraordinary father, that she knows Charlotte, that she has watched the way Valentine loves and protects that girl, and that at the end of the day, a man who shows up completely for his child is a man she is not walking away from because of his past. Sunny goes back to the drawing board, and the fact that he is talking about extreme measures, that phrase alone should make everyone in Port Charles slightly nervous about what comes next. Ava and Ethan, Port Charles's most unexpected and irresistible love story. And now, darlings, we arrive at the storyline that has been quietly, consistently stealing scenes all summer, and is now officially demanding to be recognized as one of the most compelling and genuinely exciting romantic pairings this show has introduced in years. We are talking about Ava and Ethan. And if you have not been paying close attention to what has been building between these two, let me tell you, you have been missing something extraordinary. From the very first moment these two shared a scene together, something crackled. It was not soft or sweet or the kind of attraction that announces itself with romantic music and meaningful glances across a crowded room. It was combative. It was sharp. It was two people who are each, in their own way, too smart and too guarded and too accustomed to being the most interesting person in any given situation, suddenly finding someone across from them who matches every move. He pulled her out of her gallery and into his car because the situation demanded it. She came at him with everything she had, clever, pointed, not remotely intimidated. And underneath all of that friction, something started. Neither of them would have named it at the time. Neither of them was in any hurry to examine what it was. But it was there. Their interactions kept coming back to that same energy, push and pull, jabs and counter-jabs, each one reading the other with that particular intensity that only happens between people who find each other genuinely fascinating. And then Ava discovered the situation with Phoebe. And suddenly she had leverage. And Ava with leverage is Ava in her element, dangerous and calculating and completely in control. Except this time, something else started happening alongside the leverage. Something that did not follow the usual rules of how Ava operates. Because Ethan took a bullet for her. Let that land for a moment. In the middle of danger and chaos, when the choice came down to protecting himself or stepping in front of something aimed at Ava, Ethan chose Ava. Without hesitation. Without calculation. Just instinct. And Ava, who has spent a very long time building walls specifically designed to keep people from getting that close, from mattering that much, found herself sitting with an injured man in an impossible situation, and the walls came down. The sharp edges softened just enough to let something real through. She cared. Actually cared. In that particular way that Ava rarely allows herself to because caring has always come with a cost she was not willing to pay. The moment she asked him, in that perfectly Ava way, with that perfectly Ava combination of concern and dark humor, whether he had been shot in a rather inconvenient location, and he confirmed it, something shifted between them. The laughter that lived underneath their friction became something warmer, something that neither of them was fully prepared for. And then Ethan, bleeding and fading and with his defenses completely stripped away, told her the truth. The real truth. Phoebe is not his daughter. He said it out loud. To Ava. In that trapped, desperate, raw moment. Now, what Ava does with that information is the question every fan is sitting with. Because Ava and blackmail have a long and well-documented relationship. Information like this, in Ava's hands, has historically been currency. A card to hold. a tool to use exactly when the situation calls for it. But here is the thing that makes this different from every other time Ava has held a secret over someone. She is starting to feel something genuine for the person she is holding it over. And genuine feelings complicate the math considerably. You cannot weaponize something against someone you actually care about without paying a price inside yourself. And Ava knows that price. She has paid versions of it before. So the question is not just what she will do with what she knows. The question is who Ava wants to be in this particular story. The schemer who holds the card until the perfect moment to play it, or the woman who, for once, chooses the person over the power. These two are funny together. They are sizzling together. They are sharp and adventurous, and equally matched in a way that makes every scene between them appointment television. Ethan and Ava have the potential to become something Port Charles has not had in a very long time, a couple that is genuinely exciting to watch not because of manufactured drama, but because the two people involved are both so completely, fascinatingly themselves. Port Charles is full of love stories right now, darlings. Carly and Valentine standing in the open despite everything working against them. Josslyn and Vaughn finding their way back to each other in the most complicated circumstances possible. And now Ethan and Ava, two people who came together through leverage and danger and are discovering, somewhere underneath all of that, something that looks a lot like something real. This is what General Hospital does better than any show on television. It takes people you would never expect to put together and build something between them that makes you wonder why you never saw it coming.